Hey everybody, I'm Crow. Welcome to Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. We're going to be doing a bow-only run. And while it was requested that I get a lighting mod for this, there is no lighting mods for Scholar of the First Sin. Those are only for Dark Souls 2. I tried loading one and it just kind of messed up the game. But I fresh reinstalled it, so everything should be fine now. Without further ado, the intro cinematic. After saving.
Perhaps you've seen it, maybe in a dream, a murky, forgotten land. A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. You will lose everything once branded. The symbol of the curse. An augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. A thing that feeds on souls, a hollow. Long ago, in a walled-off land far to the north, a great king built a great kingdom. I believe they called it Drangleic. Perhaps you're familiar? No, how could you be? But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why. Like a moth drawn to a flame, your wings will burn in anguish, time after time. For that is your fate, the fate of the cursed.
No amount of money would get me to jump in that hole. And so begins the tale of the bow-only run. I do think that crossbows still count as bows, kinda, as a ranged weapon, but if I remember right, the one time that I've done this before, I don't think I ever had a reason to use one, since they don't have stat scaling. We will be switching around, and we're not just going to be using one bow. For a lot of fights, I'm just going to look up what the boss is weak to, like I did then, and we're going to reroll our stats and use faith bows and sorcery bows and dark bows and all kinds of stuff, most likely.
What seems to be the ruckus?
Oh my, your face. The face of the curse. It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you?
You're finished. You'll go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them.
Hollows prey upon men, feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed.
What is your name?
Well, obviously, it's Crow. Crow! Oogie.
At least you know your own name. Here's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy.
Take a closer look. Who do you think it's supposed to be?
Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
If I think about it, the only two bosses that I really absolutely don't want to fight 100%, from what I remember, was the Ludden Zalin fight was absolutely the worst, and Dark Lurker was the second. Using only a bow, you can't cleave them, so it really, really sucks. I've only tried a bow run once before, and Bonfire set it because it's the only thing there, otherwise we can't really get. We are, of course, Zemen, standard build, too muscular. I think I usually use this one. Doesn't really matter. Actually, let's use this one. I think I usually did something like... I usually made them like super pink or purple or something. Eye color should be green. Not that green. These are all way too green. Is there no just green? Ah, there we go. Doesn't have a great... Wait, the mustachio! There we go. Now that is a face I can take seriously. Finalized creation. We will only be using bows. I will not damage things using a
All
weapon.
people come here for the same reason.
Outside of bows.
To break the curse.
You're no different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance. Well, you never know. Go through the door and try not belong to the kingdom.
But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You'll lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
I know it can be hard, because of all of their condescension and laughing. But if you're new to this, you must resist the urge to kill them. Because they let you reroll your stats later. Oh, and that other girl gives you a ladle if you kill the big hippo monster out back. Human effigy. If you'll notice, we only have 25 of what I believe are wooden arrows, which I think are the worst in the game. Yep, they're just wood arrows. So outside of that, this is our attack. Because I don't auto-attack things, I'm not going to punch anything with my fists either. The exception there is items, because I need to use a firebomb to open a shortcut up some ways and stuff. And I'm probably going to use alluring skulls and things. I never use those, but I've seen that they're actually pretty useful. Smash, please. I need souls, because we only have 25 arrows, and we need to get the ability to unlock a vendor who can sell us more arrows. This run requires a massive amount of grinding, which is one of the reasons I thought about it after people brought it up. And I would rather do this in the Let's Play format than streaming, because then I save everybody a bunch of time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Majula, do a quick run around, grab everything here, and then we need to run to the Forest of the Fallen Giants, and we need to get that key off of the hag vendor there. I ran a test run just to make sure that we could handle this, computer-wise. And I had 2 extra souls when I got there. We had 3. So we're going to get 2 more somewhere else, and that should give us about 1,250, I think. Unless I killed somebody. I probably killed people. I only had 20 arrows when I got there. This run can be a huge pain in the butt. But I've always liked bows. Unfortunately, I don't know that a bow run is possible for Dark Souls 3, because they reduce the amount of arrows you can have from 999 to 99, and that's just not enough arrows.
Are you the next monarch? Or merely a pawn of fate? Bearer of the curse, I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey.
Another thing to remember.
See the king. He who made Drangleic what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick.
Is that you have to fully exhaust people's dialogue to get them to do other things. You can't level up unless you just keep talking to her. It reminds me, I must protect our decency.
Bearer of the curse, seek misery. For misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls. You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid.
There are people that do it. You can do Soul of
Seek
the One
those
runs.
whose names are unutterable. The four endowed with immense souls. Their souls will serve as beacons. Once you have found them, return here to me, so that hope will not fade away. Bearer of the curse, seek souls, larger, more powerful souls. Seek the king. That is the only way. Lest this land swallow you whole, as it has so many others.
And now we can start skipping her dialogue. We don't have any stuff to level up, but now that we've done that, she will move back over to the campfire and let us level up every time we talk to her. Dude up there. The item is around the corner down here. So we're just going to do a quick run of this. And start heading to the next area. Actually, should probably get into there. This is Lenigrast, the blacksmith. He's the one who will sell us arrows for pretty much the rest of the run. Until we need to get these specific magical arrows. But we need to get the key, which is 1,000. From the hag whose name escapes me. There are homeward bones up there. Grab this. Just a life gem. I don't remember this all perfectly because it's been more than a year since I've played this. Actually, I think it was the last run I did. It was... might have been 2. I don't know. It was several months before the initial release of Dark Souls 3. Might have even been like a half a year. I don't remember when this came out. This thing says it... I don't know. But we gotta get that stuff. We gotta smack this next. This episode's gonna be mostly cinematic stuff as it has been. But there's not too much of that later on, and there's not too many more NPCs that we're gonna have lots of dialogue with. At least it's gonna be more broken up and stuff, so we should actually be able to see things soon. There is a Titanite shard up here. Homeward Bone stuff. This game gets a lot of hate for a lot of different reasons, and I can say that it's clearly not perfect or anything. But this is one of my favorites. Just for the feel of it and stuff. I mean, I love Dark Souls 1, and obviously I didn't feel the same way that I did when I played Dark Souls 1 when I played this, because it's not the same, and you can only ever feel that once. Whenever you find something really new. But, for what it is, I think it's pretty good. I think a lot of the problems with it was they wanted to make it more accessible to other people, which they did. But because everyone freaked out and was like, what, the game's not going to be hard? They were forced to make it kind of cheap in some places, though I do feel like 3 is more cheap in a lot of places. Were there not Homeward Bones up here, or did I already grab them? I thought this guy was supposed to have Homeward Bones. I'm going crazy. Anyway, we can make our way out there now. There's a lot of cheap stuff in here, but I feel like an adaptive... Oops. Oh, so much for having 25 arrows. Like having an... What the hell is it? I'll just go over to the personal stuff. That adaptability stat, ADP, I feel like that was a really good addition to this game. I know a lot of people hated that because you have to pay points to get iframes. But if you get an adaptability of 40 or less, because attunement for casters also counts towards that, you can roll through most things. Like, the amount of iframes you get is stupid, to the point where it's actually really forgiving. The old Iron King has smashed me with his fist before, and I've rolled as it started, and then come out inside his fist, and then just popped off to the side and not getting hurt before. Old Iron King is like the second best place to farm if you're using bonfire aesthetics, I think. The Giant Lord was the best one. As always, unless I'm streaming this, which I would also be open to if you guys want to see that too. I could stream some kind of different run of this. I'm not going to use summons. Because while it's really neat playing with people and stuff, it's basically a face roll if you do that, and the whole struggle of using a bow only doesn't really come through if I summon somebody that's just throwing lightning spears at them. So, this is just the start. I'm getting this. I'm probably going to die. I died the last time I tried this. Especially near the end. We have to get all the way up there. The real problem is climbing up the ladder. We're going to skip most everything here. Make a break for this ladder. It wasn't this ladder that I was talking about, it was the next one. The problem is that those guys will actually follow us up that ladder. And these people, of course, are not dead. Oh no, I canceled it! Oh, I didn't know you could cancel it. Oh, I forgot. Now we're in real trouble. Because they're coming up to the top. And unlike Dark Souls 3, You don't have iframes when you're going through doors. So now what I'm ending up doing is just waking up a whole bunch of them. I need them all to get over here. And we got a sprint. That's my only... No, they have way too much stamina. I'm gonna get hit. Ain't even worth trying. I think we're just gonna die. And I'm gonna have to run back here and try it again. I didn't get caught there last time. We would have made it through that, but I pressed B like 1/10 of a second before we got through. I didn't remember that there was actually a thing for that, but that is why we hit the bonfire. And unlike in Dark Souls 1, just lighting the bonfire attunes you to it. So you don't actually have to rest at it, which you can't do if enemies are nearby. So if you'd run to a bonfire in Dark Souls 1 and then try and rest at it and the enemies followed you, you couldn't just quickly sit down and then ignore it. From this run, we will get through there because I'm not going to touch the B button after we touch the door. See, plenty of time. And they can't hit you when you're walking through it, it's just while you're standing there waiting for some reason. You can roll through that. Oh my god, there's a guy here, no way! And then we go around him. What? You're gonna shoot me, but I'm running forwards. So you shoot the ground because you shoot where I'm going. And now I run away, and this is the hard part. We have to get to the top of this ladder. Oh, there wasn't another person here. Scholar of the First Sin is different from Dark Souls 2 in that they change item locations and enemy layouts and stuff. Right here, grab ladder. It's okay if they hit me, I just have to make it to the top. Okay. Someone is going to run out and try and stab me, but if I hit this immediately, I should be able to roll through before they actually get the attack off. The door is open, we're through. I hit this. I couldn't rest at it, so we run upstairs. Man. To me. Now that he's up here, he's gonna have to run down the stairs. So we rest at the bonfire. We stand back up. Another thing that I love is that it doesn't take us out of this menu, and we can use two at once. I forgot to upgrade the Estus Flask. I'll do that during the grinding runs that I'm going to have to do. Yeah, I killed one before, so we have 1,200. I think it started with an M. Help a poor old woman. Melentia. That's what it was. Okay, so we're going to buy an item, and that item will be Leningrast's Key. So we now have a place in which we can buy arrows. Because she does not sell them. She sells lots of other neat stuff, but not those. So now we can come back over here once we teleport back to Majula. And you can use Leningrast's Key and roll through here. And if you were any of the other starting classes, you can get a short bow right here. And use that extra 200 to get 20 more arrows. Because you wouldn't have been able to kill anything else anyway. So this is the amount that you'd have from those souls?
Ah, yes. Very good. Now I can get to work. But first, let me set up. Come again later.
I talked to him on accident. I didn't actually want to. But if you come back here and you sit down, because you have to sit at a bonfire for everyone to change positions, he will now work here as a blacksmith. And he sells arrows for 10 souls each, which means if you kill an enemy, and he gives you 60 souls, and it took you 3 arrows to kill him, you actually only net 30. Which is why I have to save up tons of souls in order to buy an obscene amount of arrows. Once I have an obscene amount of arrows, I start leveling up my stats, my dex and stuff, and upgrading the bow, so that it requires a less obscene amount of arrows. And I have to keep buying arrows all the while I do this, which is why there's going to be a ton of grinding. And I'm going to do that off screen. And because this is pairing up with Faster Than Light, and there's only one episode a day, I will have ample time to do that. So, let me just buy the arrows first.
Man ought to labor with his feet.
Damn it, I skipped it, sorry.
Not roam around like you flirtatious vagabonds. Oh, what does it matter? Go on, show me what you've got. Your equipment. Let me have a look. But do it quick.
I'm so used to skipping all of the dialogue. come over here. We buy as many arrows as we can. He only has 50 of these, but they are much better arrows. They do 35 more damage. We are going to rely
If you make it back.
on the wooden ones for the most part, and I do need to come over
Is
here.
that a shard you found? Here, let me see it, so that I may help you
Yep,
to see light, however
see how.
faint it might.
it's faint. Upgrade Estus Flask. Rank 2. And with that, I am off to my grinding. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you liked it. Later, everybody.